You are not just a body. You are an energy field, and your life is its reflection. Today, we're embarking on a journey together. A journey not into the outer world of action and reaction, but into the inner universe that creates it. We'll explore the profound idea that our emotions are not just fleeting feelings, but powerful, energetic broadcasts that literally shape the world we experience. We'll delve into the quantum mechanics of the soul, uncovering how mastering our inner state can transform chaos into creation, conflict into clarity, and resistance into a powerful, universal flow. Imagine for a moment that you are a radio tower, constantly broadcasting a signal out into the world. Now, imagine that this signal isn't made of radio waves, but of something far more personal, far more potent: your emotions. Every feeling that courses through you, joy, anger, love, sorrow, is a vibration, a distinct frequency radiating from your consciousness. This isn't just a metaphor. It's a way of understanding the very fabric of our existence. Quantum physics is beginning to show us that everything in the universe, at its most fundamental level, is energy in motion. And our emotions, born from the complex interplay of hormones and neurotransmitters in our bodies, are no exception. When you feel a surge of anger after being cut off in traffic, or a wave of deep sorrow from an old memory, your entire energy field responds. Think of it like dropping a stone into a perfectly still pond. A harmonious, high-frequency emotion like love or joy creates gentle, coherent ripples that expand outward, maintaining the clarity and peace of the water. But lower-frequency emotions like anger and fear are like jagged rocks thrown violently into the pond. They don't create harmonious ripples. They create jarring splashes and chaotic vortices. Your energy field loses its harmony, its coherence. And here is the crucial, life-altering truth. Reality acts as a quantum mirror. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, doesn't judge the signal you're sending. It doesn't label it good or bad. It simply reflects it back to you with perfect, unwavering accuracy. Those chaotic vortices of anger you're broadcasting, they act like energetic magnets, attracting experiences, people, and circumstances that vibrate on that exact same low frequency. Have you ever noticed how a bad morning can spiral into a terrible day? You spill your coffee, which makes you frustrated. You broadcast that frustration, and on your way to work, you hit every red light. You get to the office late, now radiating irritation, and your boss immediately criticizes a project you worked hard on. Your field, now swirling with the low-frequency energies of frustration, irritation, and injustice, continues to attract more of the same. It feels like the world is against you, but in this quantum reality, the world is simply with you. It's matching your broadcast. We are not passive observers experiencing a pre-written world. We are mobile transmitters, continuously tuning our reality through the inner frequency of our being. An unbalanced field, one dominated by chaotic, low-frequency emotions, will inevitably create its own chaos. In the quantum world, every reaction isn't just a reaction. It's an act of creation. It's a command written into the energetic blueprint of your future. The world isn't happening to you. It is responding to you. This isn't meant to be a burden, but an incredible empowerment. It means the remote control for your life has been in your hand the entire time. The question is, are you ready to learn how to use it? Think about the last time you were truly triggered. A critical comment from a loved one, a sudden piece of bad news, an unexpected bill. What happened in the instant after that trigger? For most of us, there is no after. the trigger and the reaction are one and the same. The spark hits the fuse, and the explosion is immediate. The angry retort, the sinking feeling of dread, the surge of panic, it all feels automatic, like a reflex we can't control. But what if I told you that in the space between that trigger, that stimulus, and your reaction, there exists an invisible, infinitesimal gap, a moment, a pause? Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl famously wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." This space, this pause, is not empty. It is the 0 point, the fertile void where all quantum power resides. Our physical world is obsessed with action, with doing. We are taught to react quickly, to have an immediate answer, to solve the problem now. But in the quantum world, the world of energy and vibration, the true power lies in stillness. This stillness isn't inaction, it's not weakness or passivity. It is a moment of profound internal reorganization. It's the eye of the hurricane, a place of perfect calm from which you can observe the storm of emotion without being swept away by it. Let's revisit that critical comment from a loved one. The words hit your ears, that's the stimulus, the old programming, the unhealed wound from childhood that says, "I'm not good enough," immediately wants to fire back. The emotional reflex is to become defensive, to lash out, to protect that wounded part of you. This is the collective current, the river of unconscious reaction that most of humanity is swimming in. But a person who masters the pause does something radical. They hear the words, and they feel the initial sting, but instead of reacting, they breathe. They step into that sacred space Frankl spoke of. For a single second, they cut the puppet strings of emotional reflex. They step out of the river of chaos and stand on the bank. From this vantage point, they are no longer the victim of the trigger. They become the observer of their own energy. They can see the anger rising, feel the hurt welling up, and they can ask a powerful question. What is this energy asking of me right now? Instead of letting that raw, chaotic energy explode into a distorted reaction, a hurtful comment they'll later regret, they can consciously choose their response. They can choose to see the other person's pain behind the comment. They can choose to set a calm boundary. They can choose to simply observe the feeling without letting it become their master. They direct the flow. This is the art of transforming the energy of a trigger before it solidifies into a reality you don't want. The pause is your quantum workshop. It's where you take the raw, volatile material of an emotional trigger, and instead of letting it create more chaos, you consciously mold it into a response that aligns with peace, wisdom, and creation. This single practice, more than any other, is the key to taking back your power and becoming the master of your energetic reality. This is perhaps one of the most challenging and liberating truths to embrace on this journey. In the vast, interconnected field of energy, no one truly hurts you. This doesn't invalidate your pain or dismiss your experiences. The pain is real, the hurt is real, but the source of that hurt is not where we think it is. Other people do not create our pain. They only activate the parts within us that remain unhealed. Every single person you encounter in your life, from your most cherished loved one to the stranger who infuriates you, is a frequency mirror. They are reflecting back to you the energy you are already carrying, particularly the energy you have not yet faced, acknowledged, or integrated. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung called this the shadow, the parts of ourselves we repress and deny. When we haven't owned our own capacity for anger, for example, we will constantly see it and judge it in others. This is the mechanism of projection. We see in the world what is hidden within ourselves. Think of the person who triggers you the most. What specific quality about them drives you crazy? Is it their arrogance, their insecurity, their victim mentality? The law of the mirror suggests that this very quality is an energetic messenger, sent to help you recognize something within yourself that is ready to be healed. Perhaps their arrogance is mirroring a deep-seated fear you have of not being seen or valued, a part of you that secretly craves acknowledgement. Perhaps their insecurity is reflecting a part of your own shadow that you refuse to accept your own deep-seated doubts about your worth. When we don't understand this principle, conflict is a battlefield. It's me against you. My goal is to prove you wrong, to defend my position, to win the argument. This is an exhausting and endless war because it's fought on the wrong front. When we truly grasp the law of the mirror, this dynamic shifts entirely. Conflict ceases to be a battle and becomes a map. The other person isn't an adversary. They are a guide, a reluctant guru, pointing you directly to the unhealed places within your own soul. Let's say you have a coworker who constantly undermines you, and it fills you with rage and a sense of injustice. The battlefield approach is to fight back, to gossip, to build a case against them. The map approach is to pause and ask, what is this mirror showing me? What part of me is being activated? Perhaps this experience is activating a deep, old wound of being overlooked, of feeling powerless. The coworker's actions are just the finger pushing on a pre-existing bruise. The pain isn't in the finger, it's in the bruise. The healing, then, isn't about changing the coworker. It's about tending to the bruise. It's about giving that young, powerless part of yourself the validation and strength it never received. When you do this inner work, something miraculous happens. The trigger loses its power. The coworker's behavior may not even change, but it no longer throws your energy field into chaos because the activated wound is no longer there. The universe never makes mistakes. It only reflects. When the mirror within you is clear, when you have embraced your shadow, healed your wounds, and integrated all parts of yourself, there is nothing left for the outside world to reflect but clarity and wholeness. The distortions cease because you no longer carry any distortion within you. Can you look at the most difficult person in your life, not as an antagonist, but as a messenger? What are they trying to help you see? Observe the natural world for a moment. A river doesn't fight the rocks in its path. It flows around them. A tree doesn't resist the wind. It bends with it. The universe operates on a fundamental law of non-resistance, where energy moves along the path of least resistance, flowing without friction, without fighting. The great paradox of human existence is that so much of our suffering comes not from the external events of our lives, but from our powerful internal resistance to them. An event happens, you lose your job, a diagnosis is given, a relationship ends. These are neutral, energetic facts. The pain, the anguish, the suffering that doesn't come from the event itself. It comes from the story we tell ourselves about the event and our fierce resistance to the reality of it. This shouldn't be happening. It's not fair. I can't handle this. Each of these thoughts is an act of resistance. It's like building a dam in the middle of that flowing river. The energy of the event, which wants to move and flow, hits your wall of resistance. And what happens when a powerful current hits a dam? It creates immense pressure, turmoil, and chaos. This internal friction creates a dissonant frequency, a vibration of struggle that radiates from your being and, according to the law of the mirror, attracts more circumstances to struggle against. Non-resistance is the highest form of energetic intelligence. It is crucial to understand that non-resistance is not submission. It is not weakness or apathy. It is not about letting people walk all over you or giving up on your goals. It is the profound wisdom of resting the soul in the greater current of life. It is the conscious choice to stop fighting with what is. It's the moment you say, okay, this is the situation. I don't have to like it. I don't have to approve of it. But I will stop wasting my life force fighting the fact that it is here. When you practice non-resistance, you pull the dam down. The energy of the situation, which was once a raging, chaotic force crashing against your resistance, can now flow through you. By allowing events to unfold without opposition, you neutralize their chaotic vibrations. You are no longer adding the friction of your own struggle to the mix. Imagine you're caught in a powerful ocean riptide. Your instinct is to fight it, to swim directly against the current with all your might. But anyone who knows the ocean will tell you that this is the most dangerous thing you can do. Fighting the riptide will only exhaust you and pull you under. The intelligent solution is to relax, to allow the current to carry you for a short time, and to swim parallel to the shore until you are out of its pull. You don't fight the current. You align with the greater energy of the ocean to find your way back to safety. This is non-resistance in action. When faced with a difficult situation, you allow the initial wave of emotion, the fear, the grief to flow through you without resisting it. You accept the reality of the situation without adding the secondary layer of suffering that comes from fighting it. From this place of calm acceptance, you can then take inspired, clear-headed action. Obstacles dissolve not because the world changes, but because your energy is no longer creating friction against it. You have aligned with the universal flow, and in that flow there is grace, power, and unimaginable peace. Have you ever felt completely drained after a conversation with someone, or utterly exhausted after spending time in a crowded place? We often blame this on external factors. That person is so draining, or crowds wear me out. But the root cause is often closer to home. Much of our daily exhaustion comes not from the world doing something to us, but from us unconsciously giving our precious energy away. We give it away in the relentless search for external validation. We leak our energy trying to please everyone, seeking approval, and modifying our behavior to get a pat on the back. We expend massive amounts of our life force worrying about what others think of us. This creates an energy field that is not a closed, self-sustaining circuit, but a leaky vessel, constantly losing power. Imagine your personal energy field as a home. A healthy, sovereign field has sturdy walls and a door that you control. You can choose to open the door to let in love, connection, and positive experiences. You can also choose to close and lock it to protect yourself from negativity or intrusion. You are in charge of who and what comes in and out. A leaky field, however, is like a house with all its doors and windows wide open in a storm. It lets in everyone's opinions, judgments, and emotional chaos. It constantly seeks its sense of worth and safety from what's happening outside the house. This is a state of energetic dependency, and it is profoundly disempowering and exhausting. The mastery of energy begins with the act of recalling it. It is a conscious decision to re-establish the boundaries of your awareness. This doesn't mean building impenetrable walls of steel and isolating yourself. A sovereign field is not closed off. It is simply not leaking. It is open by choice, not by default. This process starts with a radical shift in your sense of self-worth. It's the deep, cellular understanding that your value is not tied to any external opinion, any job title, any relationship status, or any number in a bank account. Your worth is intrinsic. It is absolute. You are a unique expression of the universe, and that alone makes you infinitely valuable. When you begin to cultivate this profound self-respect, you stop seeking validation from the outside, because you are finally validating yourself from the inside. You no longer need someone else's approval to feel whole, so you stop leaking your energy trying to get it. A person with a sovereign field gives from a place of fullness, not from a place of need. They share their love, their wisdom, and their light not to get something in return, but because their own cup is overflowing. Their stability becomes untouchable. Criticism may come, but it doesn't shatter them because their foundation is internal. Praise may come, but it doesn't inflate their ego because they already know their worth. They are in the world, but their core sense of self is not of the world. And as always, the universe mirrors this back. When you demonstrate that you respect your own energy, the world begins to respect it too. When you stop giving your power away, you discover just how much power you truly had all along. In our modern world, silence is often seen as an absence, a void to be filled. Awkward silences in conversation, the need to have music or a podcast on at all times. We are a culture that is deeply uncomfortable with quiet. But on a quantum, energetic level, silence is not an absence at all. It is the presence of energy in its purest, most potent state. It is the highest frequency, the background hum of the cosmos, where energy is so complete and whole that it no longer needs to prove itself through noise or action. Think of the difference between a chaotic, noisy argument and a moment of deep, silent understanding between two people. In the argument, energy is being scattered, wasted, thrown about in a desperate attempt to be heard. Words become weapons, and the goal is to overpower the other person's frequency. It is a state of energetic depletion. To respond to chaos with silence, however, is to step off the battlefield entirely. It is not a sign of weakness or defeat. It is a demonstration of immense power. Silence is the ultimate shield against lower vibrations. It doesn't fight back on their level. It doesn't engage in the frantic dance of discord. It simply holds its own high-frequency space. Like a deep, still lake, it can absorb the frantic energy of a thrown stone without becoming chaotic itself. The ripples spread for a moment, and then the stillness returns. Silence absorbs chaos without being absorbed by it. This is a powerful tool in communication and emotional regulation. When someone is projecting their anger or fear onto you, the instinct is to react with words, to defend, to explain, to fight back. But what if you chose the frequency of silence instead? What if you simply held your space, breathing calmly, and allowed their energy to wash over you without hooking into it? This act of strategic silence often does what 1,000 words cannot. It gives the other person the space to truly hear themselves, and it communicates a level of unshakable inner peace that no argument can penetrate. Beyond our interactions, cultivating silence in our own lives is essential for spiritual and energetic alignment. In the constant noise of daily life, we cannot hear our own inner voice, the quiet wisdom of our soul. Silence is the space where that voice becomes clear. It's in the quiet moments, a walk in nature, in early morning meditation, or simply by turning off all the devices that we can align with the pulse of the whole. Taking time for silence actually helps reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels and can even stimulate the growth of new cells in the brain's hippocampus, a region associated with memory and emotion. Silence is not empty, it is full of answers. It is the space where we stop scattering our energy outward and begin to gather it inward, replenishing our reserves and reconnecting with our sovereign center. Do you fear silence, or do you cherish it? Try carving out just 5 minutes of absolute silence today and just listen. What does the energy of quiet have to tell you? If there is a single master key, a universal frequency that has the power to restore order to your entire quantum field, it is gratitude. Gratitude is the purest and most powerful vibration a human being can generate. It is a current of energy so coherent, so harmonious, that it can dissolve lower chaotic frequencies on contact. Think about the emotional spectrum. Anger, fear, jealousy, and despair all exist in the lower frequency ranges. They are dense, slow, and contractive vibrations. Gratitude, love, and joy exist at the highest frequencies. They are light, fast, and expansive. Here is a fundamental law of energy. Two opposing frequencies cannot occupy the same space at the same time. You cannot, in the very same instant, feel deep, authentic gratitude and crippling fear. One will always cancel out the other. This is why activating gratitude is the most direct and potent way to shift your energetic state. When we feel genuinely grateful, the heart begins to beat in a state of coherence. The HeartMath Institute has done fascinating research showing that positive emotions like gratitude create smooth, harmonious sine wave patterns in our heart's rhythm. This coherent rhythm emits a powerful electromagnetic wave that extends far beyond our bodies, influencing the environment and people around us. It literally soothes chaotic vibrations. This is not just positive thinking. This is applied quantum physics. The act of feeling grateful is a conscious choice to tune your personal broadcast to one of the highest frequencies in the universe. When you are feeling anxious about the future, the quickest way to dissolve that fear is to find something to be grateful for in the present moment. It can be as simple as the feeling of the sun on your skin, the taste of your morning coffee, the fact that you are breathing. Find one small thing and let the feeling of genuine appreciation wash over you. In that moment, the frequency of fear cannot coexist. It dissolves. The consistent practice of gratitude can literally rewire your brain's neural pathways, making it easier to notice and appreciate the positive aspects of life. It stimulates the production of dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitters, creating a positive feedback loop. The more you practice gratitude, the better you feel, and the easier it becomes to find things to be grateful for. Radiating gratitude is also a profound communication with the universe. It is a declaration of trust. It is saying, "Thank you for what I have, and I trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good." When you send out this powerful signal of trust and appreciation, what do you think the quantum mirror will reflect back to you? It will respond with more experiences, more people, and more circumstances that match that same harmonious vibration. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the doorway to peace and abundance. It is the ultimate alignment with the universal flow. It tells the universe that you are ready to receive, and the universe, in its infinite generosity, always responds in kind. What are 3 things, right now, in this very moment, that you can be truly grateful for? Feel that energy. Let it expand. That is the feeling of you, creating your own heaven. We have arrived at the final, and perhaps most profound, principle in the mastery of our energy, the art of letting go. Letting go is not an act of forgetting or pretending something didn't happen. It is the highest and most graceful art of energy management, where the soul learns to stop clinging to people, memories, and identities that have already served their purpose. Every time we hold on to a past hurt, a resentment, a regret, or an old version of ourselves, we are anchoring our energy in a time that no longer exists. This creates stagnant, heavy, low-frequency vibrations in our energy field. Imagine trying to sail a magnificent ship forward while multiple heavy anchors are lodged firmly in the mud behind you. No matter how much you adjust the sails or catch the wind, your progress will be slow and arduous. The past is holding you captive. Letting go is the act of consciously cutting those anchor ropes. It is not erasing the memory. It is releasing the emotional charge attached to it. It's acknowledging the lesson, honoring the experience for what it taught you, and then allowing the energy of that experience to complete its cycle and return to the natural, ever-moving flow of the universe. This process can be one of the most difficult for us as humans, because our minds often mistake familiarity for safety, even if that familiarity is painful. We cling to the story of how we were wronged, or the identity of the person we used to be, because it's known. The future, the unknown, can feel terrifying, but growth cannot happen in the stagnant waters of the past. There are many ways to practice the art of letting go. It can be a conscious, meditative practice where you visualize cutting the energetic cords to a person or a past event. It can be a physical ritual, like writing down what you want to release, and then safely burning the paper, watching the smoke carry the old energy away. It can be the simple, daily act of self-compassion, forgiving yourself for not knowing then what you know now. Every act of release is a powerful statement to the universe. It is a declaration of absolute trust. It signals that you are not afraid of the void that is left behind, because you trust that the universe will fill it with something new, something more aligned with who you are becoming. Each time you let go, you dissolve an old version of yourself and create the space for a new one to be born. It is the final, essential act of remembering that your true essence is not a fixed, static identity. Your essence is infinite, unbound, and ever-transforming energy. What old story are you still telling? What past hurt are you still carrying, like a heavy stone in your pocket? The art of letting go is simply the willingness to open your hand and let the stone drop. It's the realization that you were never meant to carry it in the first place. The journey we've taken today isn't about learning a set of tricks to manipulate the world. It's about remembering the profound and intimate relationship you have with it. It's about realizing that the outer world of chaos or harmony is a direct reflection of your inner landscape. The greatest lesson is this: you are infinitely powerful. Your emotions are the language of creation. The space between a trigger and your reaction is where your freedom lies. The people in your life are messengers, guiding you back to your own healing. Resistance is the source of suffering. Flow is the source of peace. Your energy field is your sacred, sovereign space. Silence is your connection to Source. Gratitude is the frequency of miracles. And letting go is the ultimate act of faith in your own becoming. This is not a path you perfect overnight. It is a daily practice, a moment-by-moment choice to be the observer, to choose love over fear, and to trust the magnificent flow of life. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. You are unlearning a lifetime of programming. But with each conscious breath, each pause, each flicker of gratitude, you are rewriting your reality. You are coming home to yourself. What part of this journey resonated with you the most? Is there a principle you feel called to practice this week? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights are a valuable part of this community, and we can all learn from each other's journeys. Thank you for sharing this space and this time with me. I wish you profound health, deep peace, and the courage to become the conscious creator you were always meant to be. And if this message served you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more journeys into the heart of consciousness.